To atone for the two recent games, suffering heavy defeats at home to Widnes and away to Lee. Their side today is number 1, Rocky Turner, number 2, Brian Carbett, number 3, Paul Cullen, number 4, Barry Peters, number 5, Mark Forster, number 6, John Woods, number 7, Martin Crompton, number 8 is Tony Humphreys, number 9 is Kevin Tamati, number 10, Neil Harmon, number 11 is John Thursfield, number 12 is Joe Rapati, number 13 is Billy McGinty. Warrington's substitutes today are number 14 Mike Bacon and number 15 Ian Percival. The Salford side today, Salford, who are struggling at the foot of the first division and battling it out with Lee at the moment for who will be in that third spot to be relegated next season. Their side today is number 1 Steve Gibson, number 2 Ken Jones, number 3 Kieran O'Loughlin, number 4 Peter Williams, number 5 Keith Bentley, number 6 David Kearns, number 7 Darren Bloor, number 8 Steve Herbert, number 9 Ian Gormley, number 10 Tony Worrell, number 11 Mick Worrell, number 12 is David Ratcliffe, number 13 is Ian Blease. The Salford substitutes today, number 14 Andy Burgess and number 15 is Gary Disley. So Salford, who kicked off through Mick Worrell, puts it deep, and Warrington in possession at the moment through Tony Humphreys. Humphreys plays the ball to Kevin Tamati, and straight away Mr. Lindop, this afternoon's referee, penalises Darren Bloor for offside. As I say, Mr. Lindop is this afternoon's referee, with his touch judges Mr. Ward and Mr. Lightfoot. So it'll be Rocky Turner to try and put the ball into touch. Warrington playing into a strong wind. Also have the sun in their eyes in this first half, and that ball goes safely into touch. Could be Kevin Tamati who will restart. Just inside the Salford half, onto Billy McGinty. McGinty takes play on 10 yards before being tackled by Ratcliffe and by Gormley. Humphreys to Crompton, Crompton to Woods. Woods short ball to Rapati, but a forward pass. And a bit of niggling straight away there. Mr. Lindop having a word with Ian Blease. So it will be scrum down with Darren Bloor to put the ball in. And Salford win the first scrum of the afternoon. Bloor on to Kearns, Kearns to Gibson, Gibson dummies, but he's well covered by Rocky Turner. Kearns to Blease. Blease is tackled by Rapati and by Thursfield. Tony Worrell, ex-Warrington player, drives play up to just inside the Warrington half of the field. Gormley to Herbert to Bloor, Bloor. And John Woods intercepts. Woods now with a clear onto the line. John Woods under the post for the first try of the afternoon. Darren Bloor tried to switch the ball inside to Mick Worrell. He dummied, decided to go on the outside, threw the ball out without really looking to see where it was going, and John Woods was waiting to take the pass gratefully. And Randy 30 yards to score under the posts. So we've played just 3 minutes of this first half. Woods adds on the goals to his try. And that's just the sort of start that Warrington were looking for this afternoon. Coach Tony Barrow spelled out in no uncertain terms what he wanted from his players today. And they've got off to just the right kind of start. McGinty brings play up to the 25-yard line. Tamati up the blind side to Humphreys, but he loses possession. Herbert knocks on, attempting to gather the ball, so Fred Lindop will not play the advantage rule there, so will be a scrum down with Salford to put the ball in through Darren Blow. Blow takes it onto Kearns. Kearns onto Gibson. Gibson through the gap now. Gibson. Again, Rocky Turner covering well there. Williams attacked in half-back onto Blease. Blease. He's tackled by Rapati and by Barry Peters. But Barry Peters is penalised for not allowing Ian Blease to get up and play the ball. Darren Blow puts the ball safely into touch. Gormley onto Herbert. Herbert. He's tackled by Peters, Humphries and Harmon. Plays the ball to Gormley. Gormley tries to get it to Tony Worrell. Goes past him and is picked up by Mick Worrell. Gormley to Blow. Blow to Kearns. Kearns goes on his own. Well tackled by Billy McGinty. In the middle of the field now. Blow. The kick for the line, but it goes straight dead, so it'll be Warrington to restart the game through a tap on their own 25. Tamati onto Thursfield. Tamati to Woods. Misses out Woods to Humphries. Humphries knocks on. Darren Blow to put the ball into the scrum again. Salford win the scrum. Blow to Kearns. Kearns straightens up. He's well covered by John Woods, and Woods pinches the ball in the tackle there. So Warrington back in possession. McGinty up the short side to Harmon. Harmon is tackled by Peter Williams and by David Ratcliffe. Crompton to Woods. Woods to Rapati into the gap there. Joe Rapati straightens up, goes back the other way. Finally tackled by David Kearns and Ian Blease. Tamati to Woods. Woods on the run around with Crompton, out to Thursfield. Thursfield steps back inside. He's tackled by Ian Gormley. Tamati up the blind side, inside to Peters. Peters away from that tackle there. Peters still going, on to Crompton. Crompton still going. He's finally tackled by Kieran O'Loughlin. 6 tackle to Warrington. Tamati to Thursfield. Thursfield on to Woods. Woods with the chip over the top there. But it's well covered by Steve Gibson. And he's tackled by McGinty and by Cullen. Kearns on to Tony Worrell. Kearns onto Ratcliffe. He's well tackled by the Warrington second row pairing of Rapati and Thursfield. Gormley to Kearns, but just took his eye off the ball for a moment there and looked as though he was ready to switch play back up that left side. It's a scrum down with Martin Crompton to feed the scrum for the first time this afternoon. And feeding, says Fred Lindop. And it's Peter Williams, puts the ball safely into touch. Midway inside the Warrington half of the field. And Ian Gormley will restart play. On to Steve Herbert. Herbert runs at Harmon. Tony Worrell, well tackled by Tony Humphries. Gormley runs round Kearns. Kearns switches play to Blow. On to Kieran O'Loughlin. He's tackled by the Warrington props of Humphries and Harmon. Neil Harmon looks to take a knock in that tackle there. He's just holding his shoulder. Blow with the chip over the top onto Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe sidesteps Turner. It's half stopped by Turner. Martin Crompton covering, finally brought Ratcliffe down. But Salford on the attack now. Kearns on to Tony Worrell. Worrell to Williams. He's well tackled by Paul Cullen and Brian Carverton, driven into touch. So it will be once again Darren Blow to feed the scrum. Sorry, Martin Crompton to feed the scrum. Crompton comes up. It's a knock on, says Fred Lundop. So we scrum down again. This time Salford will put the ball in. But Kevin Tamancy takes one against the head. It comes to Woods. Woods long ball to Cullen. Cullen is well tackled by Peter Williams. It's a penalty against Kieran O'Loughlin for not allowing Paul Cullen to play the ball. And Rocky Turner will attempt to put the ball into touch, which he does safely. Ian Percival warms up on the far side of the field as Neil Harmon is currently receiving attention. Tamancy onto Crompton. Tamancy runs round out to McGinty. He's tackled by Mick Worrell and by Ian Gormley. Crompton just slips there as he attempted to sidestep round Gormley and Worrell. John Woods straightens up and goes on his own. Just tackled by Ian Blease and David Ratcliffe. Tamancy to Harmon. Woods misses out McGinty to Thursfield, on to Peters. Peters stands up in the tackle, gets it away to John Thursfield, but Steve Herbert was waiting then for Thursfield and tackled him as soon as he got the ball. It comes back to Turner. Turner with the kick downfield. It's held up in the wind and bounces back to the Warrington half of the field. Cullen drops on it. Play on, says the referee now. Paul Cullen. Still going, Paul Cullen. Finally tackled. Sixth tackle, so that will be the handover to Salford. Darren Blow on to David Ratcliffe. He's tackled by Tony Humphries and Kevin Tamancy. Tony Waddle gets the ball away to David Kearns. Kearns runs across field, hands on to Gibson. Gibson gets out of two tackles, finally brought down by Kevin Tamancy, helped by Martin Crompton. And it's offside against Tony Humphries. Peter Williams will attempt to put the ball into touch. She does safely, using that very strong wind that Salford have at their backs at the moment. So Darren Blow will restart play. Just 10 yards from the Warrington try line, switches it to Blease. Blease goes up that short side, gets the ball away to Bentley. Bentley comes back inside. Keith Bentley running across field, gets it onto Tony Waddle, onto his brother Mick Waddle. Waddle through the middle now. Mick Waddle still going. Just couldn't quite slip that pass away. Was tackled just 5 yards short of the Warrington try line. Kearns on his own from acting halfback. He's tackled by Rapati and Turner. And Joe Rapati scrapes that ball back. Good thinking there by Rapati, and Warrington back in possession. Rocky Turner on his own from acting halfback. He's tackled by David Kearns and David Ratcliffe. Tamancy. Short ball to Humphries. Humphries in some space now. Tony Humphries still going. Gets it away to Carbett. Carbett comes inside. He's finally tackled by Darren Blow and by Ian Blease, but a brilliant break there by Tony Humphries. Woods to McGinty. McGinty straightens up. He's tackled by Mick Worrell and by Peter Williams. Woods to Thursfield up the blind side. Again, Mick Worrell does the tackling. Cullen to Crompton. Crompton runs around Woods. Straightens up Martin Crompton, but he's brought down by Ian Blease and by Steve Herbert. Sixth tackle to Warrington. John Woods on to McGinty. McGinty with the kick for touch. Taken safely by Keith Bentley. Bentley straightens up. Bentley now. Bentley inside to Darren Blow. Darren Blow still going. Has got Peter Williams outside. Peter Williams in a run for the line. He'll score in the corner. A brilliant try there by Salford. Came on the sixth tackle from Warrington. The kick came in from Billy McGinty. It was held up by this strong wind. Keith Bentley took it safely. He broke through Following up tackles of Brian Carbett and Paul Cullen, handed on to Darren Blow. Darren Blow went down, he was faced by Neil Harmon. Blow got the ball out to Williams, and it was a run for the line between Williams and Martin Crompton. Martin Crompton made a despairing dive, but Williams got over in the corner. So after applying some pressure there in the last few minutes, Salford finally make it pay through that try by Peter Williams, with the conversion attempt from Ken Jones still to come. Once again, Ian Percival warms up on the far side for Warrington. It would appear that Neil Harmon's going off this time as the kick comes from Ken Jones. Straight between the posts, a brilliant conversion there to match the try by Salford. And we've played just 15 minutes of the first half. And the score now is Salford 6, Warrington 6. As Ian Percival comes on to make his debut for Warrington, who replaces Neil Harmon. And it'll be Rocky Turner who will restart the game. Puts the ball along the ground, it's taken safely by David Ratcliffe, but he's tackled by Humphreys and Tamati. And Kevin Tamati comes up with the ball, gets it away to Billy McGinty. McGinty onto Thursfield. Thursfield through the gap, tries to slip the ball inside, but there was nobody really there. It's picked up by John Woods, and Woods is tackled by Tony Worrell and by Kieran O'Loughlin. Barry Peters attacked in half-back. Ball comes out to Percival for his first touch of the game. Kevin Tamati goes in at in half-back, goes on his own, straightens up. It's finally tackled by Mick Worrell. Thursfield to Woods. So knock on against John Thursfield, says Fred Lindop. So it'll be a scrum down, 10 yards from the Salford try line. With Darren Blow to put the ball in once again. Again Salford win the ball. And offside, says referee Lindop. So it'll be a penalty to Salford. Peter Williams will again attempt to put the ball into touch. And again uses this strong wind to take play to just inside the Warrington half of the field. It'll be Ian Gormley to restart. On to Tony Worrell. Worrell, he's tackled by Percival and by Rapati. Herbert runs across field. McGinty and Thursfield did the tackling. Gormley to Kearns. Kearns to Mick Worrell. He straightens up. Knocks off Ian Percival. Still going Mick Worrell. Finally tackled by Kevin Tamati and by John Thursfield. Plays the ball to Gormley. On to Darren Blow. Blow with the kick over the top. Taken safely by Rocky Turner, who comes inside. Hands on to Martin Crompton. Crompton on to Thursfield. Thursfield straightens up. He's tackled by Worrell, Gormley and Ratcliffe. Again, Tamati attacked in half-back to Woods. Short ball to Percival. Percival straightens up. Tamati. Dummies to Crompton. Martin Crompton goes in attacked in half-back. He goes on his own from acting half-back. Hands on to Humphreys. Humphreys straightens up. Takes play up to the halfway line. 6 tackle to Warrington. Kevin Tamati to John Woods. Switches inside to Rapati. Rapati to Tamati. Tamati with the kick for touch. It's taken safely by Ken Jones. He's well tackled by Mark Foster and by Barry Peters. O'Loughlin on his own from acting half-back. Loses the ball in the tackle, but it went backwards, and he's recovered by David Kearns. Blow on to Tony Worrell. He's tackled by Rapati and Humphreys. Gormley to Blow to Kearns. Kearns dummies, straightens up, throws the ball inside. It's knocked on by Steve Gibson and recovered by Joe Reparty, so Warrington back in possession, midway inside the Salford half. Thursfield to Crompton. Crompton dummies, goes on his own, straightens up, gets it back to Reparty. Reparty straightens up. Takes play to just inside the Salford 25. In the middle of the field, John Woods runs around Martin Crompton, hands on to Humphreys. Humphreys is tackled by Blease and by Mick Worrell. John Woods to Martin Crompton, on to John Thursfield, but he's well tackled by Tony Worrell. Kevin Tamati goes in at acting halfback, hands on to Martin Crompton, sidesteps Crompton inside to Tamati. Tamati on to Ian Percival. Percival drives for the line, he's tackled just a yard short of the line. 6 tackle to Warrington. Kevin Tamati on to John Woods. John Woods, long ball out to Billy McGinty. McGinty straightens up. Tries to hand on to Reparty, it comes to Cullen, back to Rocky Turner. Turner with the drop goal attempts. And it just goes over despite the strong wind, so the drop goal attempt there from Rocky Turner is successful. And we've played 20 minutes of the first half, and the score now is Warrington 7, Salford 6. Mick Worrell to restart the game. Kicks it deep, it comes through to Brian Carbert, he leaves it for Billy McGinty. McGinty straightens up and he's tackled by Tony Worrell. Kevin Tamati on his own from acting halfback, makes a good 10 yards before finally being tackled by Ratcliffe, Tony Worrell and Blease. Thursfield onto Crompton. Crompton short ball to Percival. John Woods onto Martin Crompton. He goes on his own, gets it onto Percival. Percival straightens up. Puts no one in support there of Ian Percival. He made the ball available. Billy McGinty. Dummies. And 6 tackle to Warrington. John Thursfield onto John Woods. John Woods shakes the kick, gets the ball away to Crompton. Crompton dummies, tries to get it out to Tony Humphreys, but it's taken by Ian Blease. He drives on 10 yards before finally being brought down by Brian Carbert. David Kearns onto Darren Blow. Blow dummies, short ball to Gormley. Gormley straightens up. It's finally tackled by Joe Reparty. Kieran O'Loughlin runs round David Kearns, straightens up. This is met by John Thursfield and Billy McGinty. Darren Blow goes in attacking halfback, hands on to David Kearns. Kearns to Mick Worrell. Mick Worrell straightens up. He's tackled by Woods and Humphreys. Williams to Kearns. Kearns runs round Blow, straightens up. This is well tackled by Kevin Tamati. 6 tackle to Salford. Darren Blow with the up and under. Rocky Turner's underneath it. Gibson follows it up. Turner takes it well. Rocky Turner. Barry Peters goes on his own from acting halfback. Hands on to Mark Foster. Foster runs across field. Straightens up. Still going Mark Foster. Finally brought down by Steve Herbert and Ian Blease. John Woods onto Crompton. Crompton hands on to Humphreys. He's tackled by Tony Worrell and Ian Gormley. Martin Crompton onto Ian Percival. He straightens up before being tackled by Tony Worrell. Crompton out to Woods. Woods short ball to Tamati. Tamati hands on to John Woods. John Woods just couldn't quite get in a good pass there to Billy McGinty. It's fallen on by Paul Cullen. 6 tackle to Warrington. Woods comes back to Tamati. Tamati with the kick. Goes straight to Steve Gibson. Gibson straightens up through the middle. Steve Gibson still going now. Gibson on the break. He's finally tackled by John Woods and by Rocky Turner, but he's taken play up to the Warrington 25. Gormley to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe straightens up. It's tackled by Percival and Humphreys. Gormley to Kearns. Kearns comes back the other way through the gap. David Kearns in a race for the line. He scores under the post. defence was non-existent. And Salford go into the lead. Played 24 minutes of the first half. There looked to be nothing on really for David Kearns as he received the ball from acting half-back. He came back the other way, he straightened up, went through the gap. He ran round Rocky Turner to score under the post. And with the conversion still to come, the score is Warrington 7, Salford 10. The conversion should be a formality for Ken Jones, which it is, so the score moves on to Warrington 7, Salford 12. And once again, Warrington in all sorts of trouble. They started off well with a try after just 2 minutes, as Warrington make another substitution. Mike Bacon coming on in place of Brian Carvett. Be Rocky Turner to restart the game. And again it's taken by David Ratcliffe. He straightens up, finally tackled by Joe Rapati. Gormley, on to Tony Worrell. Tony Worrell. Rapati and Thursfield do the tackling. Gormley to Darren Blow. Darren Blow's kick for touch goes straight in. So the scrum down will be where Darren Blow attempted to kick the ball into touch there. Queen Martin Crompton to feed the scrum. And Crompton comes away the ball, on to John Woods. John Woods attempts to run round David Kearns, but Kearns is equal to the task. McGinty goes on his own from acting halfback. Takes play up to just inside the Salford 25. Cullen to Crompton. Crompton runs round Woods, misses out Thursfield. Goes on his own, Martin Crompton. Finally tackled by David Ratcliffe. Thursfield to Woods. On to Tamati. Tamati short ball to Percival. Percival now in a run for the line in. Percival scores. Kevin Tamati took the ball up. The gap was on his left shoulder. He got the ball to Ian Percival, put him perfectly into the gap. It was a run for the line for Ian Percival. He stopped, came back inside, decided to run through Steve Gibson and crashed over for a good try. Ian Percival making his debut today and obliges by scoring. The referee stops the clock as Kevin Tamati receives attention there, having taken a knock in handing that ball on to Ian Percival. Looks as though Kevin Tamati is being escorted off the field. As John Woods with a conversion attempt goes safely between the posts. So we've played 27 minutes of the first half and Salford Warrington regained the lead. The score now being Warrington 13, Salford 12. As Kevin Tamati is led off the field and there being no one appears to be coming back on. So at the moment Warrington are down to 12 men as Billy McGinty just juggles with the ball there. Neil Harmon is on the far side of the field. It'll be Rocky Turner to restart the game with a drop from under the post. Kicks it down, Ratcliffe takes it safely. He drives up to the Warrington 25. He's finally tackled by McGinty and Humphreys. Gormley inside to O'Loughlin, but he loses the ball. It's taken by Turner. Turner comes back inside. He's tackled by Blees and Gormley. McGinty, he loses the ball now. It's picked up by Tony Waddle. Waddle straightens up, hands on to Blow. Blow dummies, goes on his own. It's tackled by John Woods. Herbert on his own from Acton halfback. Drives for the lines. Tackled by Joe Rapati, John Firstfield and Rocky Turner. Blow on to Tony Waddle. Tony Waddle out to Ian Blease. Ian Blease loses the ball. Peter Williams is offside and it'll be a penalty to Warrington. As Neil Harmon comes back onto the field in place of Kevin Tamati. Turner with the kick for touch, goes in safely and makes good ground there. Thursfield onto Harmon. Harmon come back on the field, and originally gone off with a shoulder injury, and gets up from that tackle holding his shoulder again. So Humphreys losing the ball in the tackle there. It's recovered by Ian Percival. Woods to Crompton, Crompton to McGinty. McGinty is tackled on the halfway line by Ian Blease and Ian Gormley. Thursfield to Crompton, back to Thursfield. Long ball out to Cullen, Cullen takes it well onto Bacon. Mick Bacon straightens up, he's tackled by Tony Worrell and David Ratcliffe. Thursfield to Crompton, to Percival. Percival straightens up in the gap, onto Tony Humphreys. He couldn't quite take the ball, it comes back to Steve Gibson. Gibson onto Kearns, Kearns straightens up, he's finally tackled by Martin Crompton. It's a good break by Ian Percival and a good ball onto Tony Humphreys, but he tried to take it with one arm. Neil Worrell plays the ball to Kieran O'Loughlin, onto Blow. Blow to Herbert. Herbert runs across field. It's tackled by Percival and by McGinty. Blow on his own from Acton halfback, puts the kick through. A knock on by Mike Bacon. Salford win the scrum once more. Keith Bentley comes in from the wing to take that ball. Still going, Keith Bentley gets it away to Darren Blow. Darren Blow re-runs across field, gives it to Ken Jones coming inside, and he's finally tackled by John Woods. Kearns from his own from Acton halfback through the gap. David Kearns just brought down by Martin Crompton. O'Loughlin to Blease, to Blow, to Worrell, but Worrell drops it. It's knocked on by Joe Rapati, but first knock on saves Fred Lindop, and it will be a scrum down. Martin Crompton to feed the scrum. Crompton onto Woods, Woods to Turner, Turner coming into the gap. Rocky Turner still going, goes inside Steve Jones, hands on to Cullen. Cullen, he's tackled by Blease and Williams. Woods to Crompton, to Rapati. Rapati running out wide, straightens up. It's tackled by Mick Worrell and by Ian Gormley. Thursfield to Percival. Percival is tackled by Bloor and Mick Worrell. Thursfield to Crompton, to Woods. Woods short ball to Humphreys. John Woods attacked in half-back onto Billy McGinty. McGinty gives hands on to Paul Cullen. Cullen straightens up. It's tackled by Blease and by Kearns. 6 tackle to Warrington. Comes back to Rocky Turner. Turner puts the ball up in the air. And it's dropped by Steve Gibson, and Barry Peters picks it up following up. And Steve Gibson won't allow Peters to get up and play the ball. So it'll be a penalty to Warrington. Woods plays the ball to himself, hands on to McGinty. McGinty comes back inside. It's tackled by Mick Worrell and by Kieran O'Loughlin. Tony Humphreys on the blind side. He's tackled just 5 yards short of the Salford try line. Foster, he goes on his own from acting half-back. Hurstfield to Crompton, to Woods. Woods misses out Peters to Rapati out wide. Rapati runs at David Kearns. Onto Paul Cullen. Cullen straightens up, throws the ball inside. It's taken by Martin Crompton, who loses it. It goes to Ian Percival, who's in an offside position, says Fred Lindop, so it'll be a penalty to Salford. And Peter Williams will attempt to put the ball into touch. He does safely, again using the strong wind. And the ball is just inside the Warrington half of the field. Gormley will restart play. He hands on to Steve Herbert. He's tackled by Rapati and by Percival. Gormley to Worrell. Worrell onto Peter Williams. Peter Williams now straightens up. Makes good ground before being tackled by John Thursfield. Bentley onto Worrell. Tony Worrell. Tony Worrell for the try line. Knocks the ball on as he tried to slip it inside to Darren Bloor. We are scrum down just in front of the Warrington post as Ian Percival currently receives his treatment from Tony Rothwell. Well, Fred Lindop comes back to see what the matter is, when really play should carry on. So to be a scrum down, Crompton puts the ball into the scrum. He's tackled by Darren Bloor. Harmon. Foster goes on his own from acting half-back, runs across field, comes back inside. He's tackled by Worrell and by Herbert. Woods onto Percival. He straightens up. Both Mick and Tony Worrell did the tackling. Thursfield out to McGinty, standing out wide. He straightens up. 6 tackle to Warrington. John Thursfield puts the ball safely into touch. Really Warrington having no option but to run the ball out from their own 25 because the wind is so strong that they can't use clearing kicks. Although I'm sure all that will change in the second half. Bloor onto Kearns, onto Bentley. Bentley onto Peter Williams now. Peter Williams tries to get the ball inside, but it's taken by Barry Peters and finally by Rocky Turner. John Woods onto Mark Foster, who comes in from his left wing. Foster runs across field before being tackled by Tony Worrell and by Ian Gormley. It's a penalty against Ian Gormley for not letting Mark Foster get up and play the ball. Thursfield taps it and hands on to McGinty. McGinty out to Cullen. Cullen comes back inside. He's tackled by Mick Worrell. Thursfield to Crompton. Crompton back inside to Billy McGinty. McGinty straightens up. It's finally tackled by Tony Worrell and Steve Herbert, the 2 Salford props. John Thursfield on his own from acting half-back, takes play up to the halfway line. McGinty to Crompton. Crompton straightens up, gets it back to McGinty. He slips, and it's 6 tackle to Warrington. Thursfield to Woods. Woods with the chip over the top, but David Kearns is covering and hands on to Steve Gibson. Gibson straightens up. He's tackled by Cullen and Peters. Gormley onto O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin. He's tackled by Woods and Foster. Blease to Bloor to Ratcliffe. He's tackled by Tony Humphreys. Gormley to Bloor. Long ball to Williams. Williams dummies. He's tackled by John Thursfield. Darren Bloor on his own from acting half-back. Bloor with the chip over the top. but it's well covered by Martin Crompton, who straightens up. Still going, Martin Crompton onto Paul Cullen, out to Ian Percival. Percival tries play to just inside the Salford half. Good covering there from Martin Crompton. John Woods on his own. Tries to slip the ball to a party. It comes to Cullen, who tries to play football with it, but it's taken by Kieran O'Loughlin. David Kearns onto Ian Blease. He's tackled by Peters and by Foster. Gormley onto Kearns, onto Herbert. He's well tackled by Rapati and Humphreys. Kearns runs around Bloor, misses out Mick Worrell, onto David Ratcliffe. He's tackled by Percival and Cullen. Kearns on his own from Acton halfback. Just throws the ball back wildly anyway. It's picked up by Bloor, onto Herbert. Herbert goes back the other way. He's tackled by Billy McGinty, but gets the ball away to O'Loughlin. 6 tackle to Salford. Kearns to Bloor. Bloor switches play, puts the ball up in the air, and offside against Ian Gormley. It'll be a penalty to Warrington as we enter injury time now with the first half. Rocky Turner will attempt to put the ball into touch, which he does safely. So Thursfield restarts play on the halfway line. Crompton hands on to Humphreys. He takes play into the Salford half. John Thursfield switches play to Woods. Woods onto Rapati. Rapati onto Mike Bacon. Bacon runs straight at Bentley, who carries him into touch, and there goes the half-time hooter. So the end of the first half there with the score on Warrington 13, Salford 12, and I'm sure Warrington will feel a lot better in the second half with this very strong wind at their backs. They'll be able to play most of the game in the Salford half of the field. Having suffered a couple of injuries, Warrington, the sources are stretched to the limit at the moment. As the two teams go in at half-time, the score is Warrington 13, Salford 12. Come back onto the field. Brian Carbett has returned. He's come back on in place of Neil Harmon. So John Woods will restart the game. He kicks the ball deep. Steve Gibson takes it safely. Straightens up. It's tackled by Percival, McGinty and Peters. Gormley onto Kearns, onto Mick Worrell. Mick Worrell gets the ball away to Ian Blease. He's finally tackled by Joe Rapati. Salford have made a substitution. Number 14, Andy Burgess, has come on for David Ratcliffe. Burgess onto Kearns. Kearns to Bloor. Bloor to Herbert. Herbert gets the ball away to Blease. So he's well tackled by Mark Foster. Foster has moved into the second row with Brian Carbett coming onto the right wing, and Mike Bacon has moved across to the left wing. Rocky Turner straightens play up. He's tackled by Blease and Gormley. Bacon from Acton halfback. He's tackled by Ian Gormley. Thursfield to Crompton. Crompton onto Percival. Percival takes play to inside the Salford half of the field. Thursfield to Crompton, to Woods. Woods misses out Peters to McGinty. McGinty straightens up. Billy McGinty now has got players in support. Tried to get the ball away to Paul Cullen. Cullen was obstructed by David Kearns, and it'll be a penalty against David Kearns for holding Paul Cullen back there as Billy McGinty tried to get the ball away. So John Woods elects to go for goal. Puts it safely between the posts. The score after 2 minutes of the second half moves on to Warrington 15, Salford 12. Warrington with this strong wind at the backs will be looking to pin Salford down deep inside their own half for much of the second half. Mick Worrell restarts the game. Barry Peters takes it safely. Finally tackled by Gormley. Crompton to Percival. He's tackled by Tony Worrell and by Ian Blease. Thursfield to Crompton to Rapati. Running from deep, Joe Rapati. Thursfield. It's the ball back to Rocky Turner. Turner puts the ball deep into that Salford half. Jones takes it and is in goal area. Straightens up, but he's met by a line of Warrington players and tackled by Mark Foster. Jones plays the ball to himself. He's tackled by Peters. Gibson to Kearns. Kearns to Mick Worrell. He straightens up, hands off Ian Percival. Tries to get the ball away to Keith Bentley, but he's tackled by John Woods and by Ian Percival. Blease on his own from Acton halfback, straightens up. Gets the ball away to Darren Bloor. Bloor out to Steve Gibson, standing out wide. Gibson gets the ball away to Burgess. Burgess straightens up. He's finally tackled by Thursfield and Percival. Ball comes back to Darren Bloor. Bloor with the kick downfield. Be taken by Brian Carbett. Brian Carbett, who's hobbling badly there, hands on to Rocky Turner. Turner is tackled by Peter Williams. McGinty on his own from Acton halfback. Tony Worrell does the tackling. Thursfield to Crompton. Switches. Doesn't go to anyone in particular. It's taken by Tony Humphreys. Humphreys straightens up and he's tackled by Burgess. John Woods. Out to Barry Peters. Barry Peters. It's tackled by Kearns. Cullen to Crompton. Crompton dummies. Gets it to Woods. Woods just couldn't quite slip that ball away to Joe Rapati. Thursfield gets it back to Turner. Turner again puts the ball into the Salford 25. It's taken by Steve Gibson, who runs around Mike Bacon. It's stopped by Foster, and Bacon recovers to help Mark Foster in the tackle. O'Loughlin to Jones. Jones almost making the break through the middle of the field there. Blease on his own from Acton halfback. Gets the ball back. It's taken by Mick Worrell. Mick Worrell gets the ball on to Kieran O'Loughlin. He straightens up. Gets the ball out to Tony Worrell. Tony Worrell. Tackled by John Thursfield, and 6 more tackles saves Fred Lindop. Kearns to Burgess. Burgess runs at John Woods. Is tackled by Joe Rapati. Gormley to Kearns. To Bloor. To Worrell. And to Steve Herbert, to Tony Worrell, but he loses the ball. Could be a knock on. Be a scrum down with Martin Crompton to feed the scrum. John Thursfield has moved up to hooker in the absence of Kevin Tamati, but loses that one. Bloor onto Gibson. Gibson through the gap. Gibson still going now. Steve Gibson in a run for the line, but he's well tackled by Rocky Turner, held by Barry Peters, but Salford on the attack. And it's a penalty against Billy McGinty for not allowing Steve Gibson to play the ball. But Fred Lindott will have a word with Steve Gibson for punching Billy McGinty in the tackle. And Ken Jones comes up and indicates to Mr. Lindott that he will kick for goal. So Ken Jones to convert the penalty attempt, puts it safely between the posts. So we've played 7 minutes of the second half and the score is now Warrington 15, Salford 14. John Woods will restart the game. And the ball goes through Keith Bentley's legs, so we'll restart by Salford under their own posts. Mick Worrell restarts the game. Ball hangs in the wind, it's taken safely by Billy McGinty. McGinty straightens up. It's tackled by Peter Williams. Cullen to Crompton to Percival. He's tackled by Mick Worrell and Andy Burgess. Thursfield runs around Crompton, straightens up. It's brought down by Herbert and Burgess. And it's a penalty against Steve Herbert. It's knocking the ball out of John Thursfield's hands. Once again, John Woods indicates that he will kick for goal. So Woods with the penalty attempt. But he pushes it wide of the left-hand post. So Mick Worrell will restart the game from his own 25. It's taken safely by Brian Carbett. Carbett straightens up. Brian Carbett still going, despite being hampered by a leg injury. Makes a good 10 yards there. Cullen onto McGinty. McGinty takes play inside the Salford half before being tackled by the two Worrells, Tony and Mick. Thursfield to Crompton. But it's offside against Andy Burgess. Crompton takes a quick tap and straightens up. Hands on to Paul Cullen. Cullen on to Foster. Foster to Rapati. Rapati straightens up. Joe Rapati still going. Joe Rapati. Hands on to Ian Percival. It's taken safely. Warrington just 10 yards from the Salford line now. Martin Crompton, dummies, goes back inside. Dummies again, still going Martin Crompton. He's finally brought down by Steve Herbert and Darren Blow. Thursfield to Woods. Woods switches play inside to Peters. It's a knock on. Scrum down just in front of the Salford post. And offside at the scrum there against Billy McGinty. Gormley taps the ball, hands on to Herbert. He's tackled by Thursfield and McGinty. Gormley to Tony Worrell. He's tackled by Percival, Thursfield and Humphreys. Gormley to Kearns, to Blow. Blow, dummies, gets the ball away to Ian Blease. Back to Darren Blow. Bloor onto Keith Bentley, but he's well tackled by Brian Carbett. Gets the ball away to Peter Williams, and Williams is, well, appeared to be tackled into touch there, but not so, says the touch judge. Bloor to Worrell, to Blease, to Kearns, Kearns to Burgess, Burgess evades one tackle, but he's brought down by Ian Percival. Kearns on his own from acting halfback, gets the ball out to Kieran O'Loughlin. He comes back inside and is tackled by Peters and Foster. Sixth tackle to Salford, just inside their own half. Kearns puts the ball up. And it's taken safely by John Thursfield. Martin Crompton goes on his own from acting halfback. It's tackled by Tony Worrell. Woods to Humphreys. Humphreys is tackled again by Mick and Tony Worrell. Paul Cullen on to John Woods, to Joe Rapati. Rapati straightens up, knocks off one tackler, but he's finally brought down by the two Worrells once again. Thursfield to Crompton, Crompton with the chip over the top and follows it up. Martin Crompton onto John Woods. Woods has got Cullen outside him. Cullen in a run for the line. He makes it over in that far corner. A brilliant try there by Warrington. Martin Crompton chipped the ball over the top. He followed his kick up. He took it on the first bounce, handed on to John Woods. John Woods came up to the fullback, handed on to Paul Cullen. And Cullen raced in for the try on that far side despite being chased by Keith Bentley. So we've played 13 minutes of the second half and Warrington extend their lead to 19 points to 14 with the conversion attempt from John Wood still to come. It was good thinking there by Martin Crompton. So it's John Woods with the conversion attempt. Just misses. So the score remains Warrington 19, Salford 14, as Salford make their second substitution. Gary Disley coming on for Steve Herbert. Be Mick Worrell to restart the game. Mark Forster takes it safely. He's tackled by Tony Worrell. Thursfield goes on his own from acting halfback, up the blind side. Foster onto Crompton, onto Percival. Woods sends it back to Rocky Turner, who puts the kick in. And that goes straight dead, so it'll be a tap to Salford on their own 25-yard line. That clearly has got to be the Warrington tactics, to put the ball deep inside the Salford half. Tony Worrell, he's tackled by Barry Peters. Disley. Again, Peters doing the tackling. Gormley to Kearns, to Burgess. Burgess comes back this way. Tries to straighten up but slips as he does so, and he's tackled once again by Barry Peters. Kearns on his own from acting halfback, out to Peter Williams. He's well tackled by Tony Humphreys. Kearns onto Gary Disley. It's McGinty and Percival this time to the tackling. Kearns to Williams. Williams puts in the kick. Rocky Turner is there to take it, which he does. He's finally tackled by Ian Blease. Peters to Crompton, to Thursfield. Thursfield evades one tackle. He's finally tackled by Gary Disley. Cullen onto Crompton. Crompton inside to Rapati. Joe Rapati now. Joe Rapati still going. He's finally tackled by Darren Bloor. Woods runs around Crompton, gets the ball onto Foster. Foster evades one tackle. It's finally brought down by Ken Jones. 6 tackle to Warrington. Comes to Crompton. Martin Crompton tries to put the ball to touch on that far side, but it goes straight dead. They're scrum down. And David Kearns restarts play, hands on to Ian Blease. He's tackled by Tony Humphreys. Kearns to Disley. Disley tackled by Joe Rapati. David Kearns, he's tackled by Tony Humphreys. Gormley onto Tony Waddle. Joe Rapati and Tony Humphreys do the tackling. Gormley up the blind side to Kearns. Kearns tries to get it inside to Peter Williams. Ian Percival knocks on, and it's carried on by Mick Waddle. Waddle dummies, knocks off McGinty, but McGinty recovers well to tackle Mick Waddle with the help of Martin Crompton. Ian Gormley, and offside against Barry Peters. And Bentley takes a quick tap and straightens up. Tries to hand on to O'Loughlin, it goes back to Andy Burgess. Disley. O'Loughlin to Bloor. Bloor inside to Blease. Blease tries to hand on to Darren Bloor, but it went forward, says referee Lindop. Clear scrum down on the Warrington 25-yard line. Martin Crompton will feed the scrum. Straight out. So again, Crompton will feed the scrum. Not retiring, says Fred Lindop. Gormley to Tony Waddle. He's tackled by Percival and Humphreys. Salford, 10 yards from the Warrington try line now. Just 5 points in arrears. Gary Disley tries for the Warrington try line. Gormley to Mick Waddle. Onto Ian Blease. He's well tackled by Ian Percival. Blease plays it to himself, tries for the line. Just 2 yards short now, the Warrington try line. David Kearns onto Darren Bloor. Bloor with the chip through, but it's well taken by Rocky Turner. Foster on his own from acting halfback. Mark Foster has gone back into the centre. And Barry Peters has moved into the second row. Bacon onto Rapati. He's met by a trio of Salford tacklers. Humphreys. Thursfield back to Turner. Turner puts the kick in. It goes deep once again to Gibson, who takes it safely. Gibson runs around McGinty. It's tackled by Percival and by Foster. O'Loughlin onto Keith Bentley. Bentley inside to Williams. Williams straightens up. He's tackled by Woods and by Peters. O'Loughlin to Kearns. To Darren Bloor. Bloor straightens up. Dummies. Darren Bloor now. Still going. Inside to Ken Jones. Ken Jones straightens up. He's tackled by Mike Bacon and Mark Foster. Jones to Blease. To O'Loughlin. Onto Bentley. Bentley. Dummies. Goes back the other way. Keith Bentley. Still going. Straightens up but loses the ball. It's taken by Mick Bacon. Mick Bacon now runs across field. Still going. He's finally tackled by Tony Worrell. John Woods onto Billy McGinty. McGinty runs across field. Hands on to Cullen. Cullen knocks off the tackle of Peter Williams, gets the ball out to Tony Humphreys. Humphreys straightens up onto Barry Peters. He's finally tackled by Ian Blease. This is better football from Warrington. John Thursfield onto Mark Foster. He's tackled by Blease and O'Loughlin. Thursfield back to Turner. Turner with the kick for touch, which goes in just inside the Salford 25. And we've just under 20 minutes left to play now. The scrum down. Darren Blow to feed the scrum once again. Again, Salford have the ball. Blow goes up the blind side, but is tackled by Mike Bacon. Burgess. Offside against Tony Humphreys. And Peter Williams to put the ball into touch. He does safely. So it'll be attached Salford midway inside the Warrington half. Darren Blow, dummies to Blease, hands out to Kearns. Kearns straightens up, hands on to Ian Gormley. Gormley gets it on to Kieran O'Loughlin. So he's tackled by Barry Peters. Kearns on his own from acting half-back. He loses the ball and it's taken by Martin Crompton onto Ian Percival. He's tackled by Kieran O'Loughlin. McGinty onto Humphreys. He's finally tackled by Worrell and Burgess. Thursfield to Woods. Woods, long ball to Cullen. Cullen. Hands on to Barry Peters. He dummies. Finally tackled by Gormley and by Williams. Cullen to Woods to Crompton. Misses out McGinty to Rapati. Rapati straightens up. Joe Rapati down the middle. Rapati still going now. Joe Rapati on to Billy McGinty, but he's tackled by Darren Blow. Sixth tackle to Warrington. Percival hands on to Crompton inside to Foster. Foster ducks under that tackle, gets the ball away to Mike Bacon. Bacon still going. Finally tackled by Ken Jones in the corner. But once again it was that piercing run by Joe Rapati that did the damage to Salford. Salford now just 10 yards from their own line. Burgess was tackled by John Thursfield. Worrell onto his brother Tony. Tony makes good ground, but there was no one in support. Disley straightens up, hands on to Ian Blease. Blease down the centre of the field, still going, finally tackled by John Woods, but he's taking play inside the Warrington half. Kearns to Disley to Blow. Blow inside to Ian Gormley. He hands on to Mick Worrell. Worrell onto Gary Disley. Disley straightens up, loses the ball, but it's knocked on by Tony Worrell. So it'll be a scrum down, midway inside the Warrington half, with Martin Crompton to feed the scrum. Fred Lindop stops the clock as Joe Rapati receives attention. Play restarts, straight out to the scrum, so is Fred Lindop. Just under 15 minutes to go now. Crompton comes away with the ball. It's tackled by David Kearns and by Andy Burgess. McGinty, again Burgess does the tackling. Woods to Percival, Percival inside to Rapati. Foster to Crompton, but he knocks on. There'll be a scrum down. Darren Blow puts the ball into the scrum, hands on to Kieran O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin on to Kearns. Kearns straightens up now, but he's tackled by Rocky Turner. Gibson to Blow, Blow, dummies, Blow still going, dummies again. And again Rocky Turner just makes the tackle. And it's a penalty against John Woods for holding Darren Blow down. Tony Waddle taps the ball, hands on to Blease, but he loses it and it's taken by Barry Peters. And once again the pressure relieved there by Warrington as Paul Cullen drives the ball away. He's tackled by Gary Disley. Firstfield, hands on to Percival. Worrell and Gormley do the tackling. Firstfield on his own from Acton halfback. Calvert back to Rocky Turner, who slices his kick somewhat. That'll be taken by Ken Jones. Jones evades one tackle, was finally brought down by Mike Bacon. O'Loughlin runs around Kearns, he hands on to Gibson. Peters and Humphreys do the tackling and then Gibson knocks on. There'll be a scrum down with Martin Crompton to put the ball in. John Woods picks the ball up, dummies. Finally tackled by Burgess. Crompton on to Foster. Foster. It's tackled by Worrell and O'Loughlin. Bacon to Crompton, to McGinty. McGinty straightens up. It's tackled by 3 Salford defenders. John Woods on his own from Acton half-back into space. Hands on to Barry Peters. Peters up to the full-back, beats him. Watts loses the ball and it's taken by David Kearns. And Paul Cullen is offside. And Peter Williams puts the ball safely into touch. Darren Blow to restart the game. On to Mick Worrell. Worrell through the middle now. Worrell still going, hands off Crompton. But Crompton recovers to make the tackle. Quick play the ball. David Kearns on to Tony Worrell. Tony Worrell on to Mick Worrell. Worrell for the line. Worrell goes over. There's the tap penalty from Salford. Darren Blow, dummy to 2 players who were coming blind, handed on to Worrell. Worrell went through the gap. He went up to the Warrington 25. He was finally tackled by Martin Crompton. He handed the ball on. He played the ball quickly to David Kearns. David Kearns went up. He got the ball back inside to Tony Worrell. Tony Worrell made further progress. He handed the ball on to Mick Worrell, and Mick Worrell went over just to the right of the Warrington post. So an important kick here from Ken Jones, because this kick will put his side in front. So Jones with a conversion attempt. Puts it safely between the posts. And with just 9 minutes of the game left now, the score is Warrington 19, Salford 20. So John Woods will restart the game. Puts the ball deep. It hits Burgess, but is taken by Ken Jones. Gormley to Blease. Blease is tackled by... Well, he was held by Rapati and McGinty, but managed to slip away. He's finally tackled by Martin Crompton. Gormley onto Disley. Disley straightens up. He's tackled by Barry Peters. Gormley to Kearns, to Blease. Blease straightens up. He's tackled by Billy McGinty. Kearns to Williams. Williams puts the ball deep inside the Warrington half. To go straight dead. We are restart to Warrington. The tap on their own 25. Pursfield onto Percival. Percival. He's tackled by Burgess. Woods attacked in halfback. Down to John Thursfield. Crompton. Onto Woods. To Rapati. To Cullen. Rapati runs round Cullen. Hands on to Carbett. Carbett down this wing now. Brian Carbett still going. Cullen. Onto Crompton. Crompton. Onto Woods. To Humphreys. Humphreys straightens up. Gets the ball back to Woods. Woods takes play to just inside the Salford half of the field. McGinty to Crompton. Crompton with the kick for touch. Which is successful and takes play to just inside the Salford half of the field. To be a scrum down with Darren Bloor to put the ball into the scrum. Comes straight out. Bloor to Kearns. He's finally tackled by John Woods. Burgess plays the ball to Kearns. Disley, long ball out to Peter Williams. He straightens up and he's tackled by Mark Foster. Disley, tackled by John Thursfield and Mark Foster. Kearns to Bloor. Bloor dummies through the gap. This is tackled by Billy McGinty. 6 tackle to Salford. Burgess with the kick for touch. It's taken safely by Rocky Turner. Turner now with Mike Bacon on his outside. Chooses to go the other way. Crompton to Bacon. Bacon coming in from his wing. Mike Bacon. Tackled by Mick Worrell. Just 5 minutes to go now. Crompton stands up, tries to get the ball away. It's picked up by Paul Cullen onto Barry Peters. Peters straightens up onto Cullen. Cullen through the gap now with just the full-back to beat. Cullen runs across field, hands on to Crompton. Crompton still going. Martin Crompton. Crompton still going. He's finally tackled by Ian Blease. Crompton took a knock in the tackle there. Just couldn't quite get the ball away to Mike Bacon on that left wing there, Martin Crompton, or else it would have been a certain try for Warrington. So Martin Crompton receives attention. So Crompton will get up and play the ball. to Thursfield, to Woods. Woods dummies. Woods looks for the gap, goes through it, tries to slip the ball away but couldn't. Thursfield back to Turner. Turner with the drop goal attempt, goes wide. So Salford restart the game through Gary Disley. Lachlan. Gormley to Tony Worrell. Tony Worrell steps inside the attempted tackle of Humphreys. Comes to Gormley. Kearns to Blease. Blease running out wide. It's tackled by John Woods and Mark Foster. Kearns misses out Worrell to Blow, on to Disley. He's tackled by Percival and McGinty. Sixth tackle to Salford. Darren Blow. The kick for touch. It's taken by Mike Bacon, who had a foot in touch. Says the touch judge. We've just over 2 minutes plus whatever injury time Mr. Lindop adds on, as Salford have the ball. Darren Blow knocks on. And it's a penalty against Salford. Darren Blow saying something to the referee. Once again, Martin Crompton lies prostrate on the ground. Rocky Turner will attempt to put the ball into touch, which he does safely. Thursfield plays the ball to Percival. He takes play to just inside the Salford half. Warrington, perhaps a last-ditch attempt to get back in front. Comes to Rapati. Rapati still going now, Joe Rapati. Strong running again there from the Maori second row. John Woods on to Barry Peters. Peters, he's well tackled by Tony Worrell. John Woods on his own from acting half-back, on to Cullen. Cullen, short ball to Humphreys. Humphreys straightens up almost through the gap. Gets the ball on to Brian Carbett. Carbett takes it well. Cullen to McGinty, to Woods. Woods, short ball to Peters. Sixth tackle now. Will we see another drop goal attempt from Warrington? Comes to Woods. He slips the ball away. Percival kicks on. It goes straight dead as we enter the last minute of the game. Plus whatever injury time may be added on. Salford leading by that solitary point. They'll be in no hurry to play this ball. Disley. Gormley to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin still going. Gormley on his own from acting half-back. He's tackled by Barry Peters. Darren Blow, he goes on his own, runs across field. Gets the ball back inside to Ian Blease. Blease straightens up, hands on to Ken Jones. Jones straightens up, he's tackled by Humphreys. Time running out for Warrington now. David Kearns back inside to Darren Blow. On to Gary Disley. Disley on to Mick Worrell. Mick Worrell, dummies. Still going. Mick Worrell still going. Finally brought down by Paul Cullen. Sixth tackle to Salford. Darren Blow. Oh, and it's almost taken by Martin Crompton. The ball goes into touch. So the scrum down, Crompton puts the ball into the scrum, Warrington have possession. Woods on the run round. John Woods straightens up. Woods hands on to Cullen. Cullen on to Foster. Foster out to Bacon, but Bacon drops the ball. Cullen is offside. It's a penalty to Salford. Peter Williams puts the ball safely into touch, and surely that was Warrington's last chance of pulling this game out of the fire. Gormley to Disley. And there goes a final hooter. Salford win a valuable 2 points in their battle for relegation. Warrington, another disappointing performance from them after 2 Easter defeats against Widnes and at Lee. So Warrington now really have to pick themselves up for the premierships after today's final score of Warrington 19, Salford 20.